Adam Green is an American screenwriter, director, producer, and actor known for his success within the horror genre with films like the Hatchet franchise, Frozen, and Digging Up the Marrow. He is also the creator, writer, director, star, and showrunner of the television comedy series, Holliston. Born and raised in the small town of Holliston, Massachusetts, Green grew up performing leading roles in school plays and hosting his own morning radio program, Coffee and Amp Donuts, on the town's local radio station. He graduated from Holliston High School in 1993. Upon graduating from Hofstra University in New York with a Bachelor of Science in Film and Television Production in 1997, Green landed a job producing and directing local and regional cable television commercials at Time Warner Cable Advertising back in his hometown of Boston. While working at Time Warner, he met cinematographer Will Barrett, and in 1998 the two formed their own production company RE Scope Pictures and began making short films together under the RE Scope banner. During this time period, Green was also the lead singer for the hard rock, metal band, Haddonfield, which amassed a large and loyal following as they headlined weekly club shows in Salem, MA and other large venues around Boston's North Shore in the late 90s. In 1999, at the age of 24, Green wrote, directed, and starred in his first feature film, Coffee and Amp Donuts, which was based on his own life and his experiences chasing his career dreams while trying to get over the breakup with his first girlfriend, childhood love. The autobiographical comedy was made for only $400 by borrowing Time Warner's commercial production equipment after hours, and ultimately gained the attention of United Talent Agency, UTA, in Los Angeles when it won Best Picture in what was then called the Smoky Mountain Film Festival. Signed by UTA as an official client, Green moved to Los Angeles in February of 2000 with the intention of turning C and Amp D into a sitcom. Though reactions were positive and interest in Coffee and Amp Donuts was strong within the industry, Green's first 3 years in Los Angeles were a major struggle, and he survived by doing any odd job that would pay or feed him. Though he was able to find occasional paid work as everything from an on-set production assistant, to performing as a stand-up comic, to working as a writer's, showrunner's assistant, to performing as an extra, background, to writing, shooting, and editing local cable commercials, to ghostwriting jokes for other stand-up comics. Green's main occupation from 2000 to 2003 was working as the DJ in the upstairs nightclub at the world-famous Rainbow Bar and Grill, where he survived off of the leftover food off of customers' plates or by eating out of the restaurant's trash at the end of each night. He performed stand-up comedy at various Hollywood nightclubs, including monthly comedy shows at the Rainbow with his regular troupe of comedians, friends that included comics Andy Sandberg, Chris Romano, and Eric Falconer, whom had also all yet to be discovered at that time. In 2003, Green sold Coffee and Amp Donuts as a sitcom to Touchstone, UPN, with Tom Shadyac producing. However, the week after Green delivered the final draft of his pilot script for Coffee and Amp Donuts, UPN announced a merger with the WB, creating the CW network, and all of UPN's pilot development was scrapped, tying up the rights to Green's dream project and life story for a further 5 years. C and Amp D would wind up going through 13 years of development and false starts due to random corporate mergers at various networks and studios before eventually coming to fruition as the television series, Holliston, in 2012. Green first gained worldwide recognition with his independent slasher comedy, Hatchet, a story and character, Victor Crowley, that he had first come up with while at summer sleepaway camp in 1983 when he was just 8 years old in an effort to scare the other children in his cabin. Written in 2003 while Green was spinning heavy metal records in the DJ booth at the Rainbow, Hatchet was filmed independently in May, June of 2005 and had its world premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival on April 27, 2006. Green spent the next 18 months traveling the world with his gruesome slasher comedy as it played dozens of film festivals, winning a multitude of awards and accumulating incredibly positive reviews from critics and fans along the way. Hatchet received a U.S. theatrical release through Anchor Bay on September 7, 2007 and introduced the world to the iconic villain, Victor Crowley. A worldwide success, Hatchet has spawned 2 sequels to date. Green wrote and directed Hatchet 2, which arrived in U.S. theaters on October 1, 2010, and he also wrote and produced Hatchet 3, 2013, which opened in U.S. theaters on June 14, 2013. Hatchet also earned Green his place in the Splat Pack, a term coined by esteemed UK film critic Alan Jones to describe a core group of new genre filmmakers who brought practical effects and extreme violence, gore back to the horror genre in the mid-2000s. Heralded by Jones as the next wave of genre filmmakers, his original article about the Splat Pack ran in Total Film magazine in April of 2006, and by October both Time magazine and the New York Post had also published stories about the Splat Pack. Green appeared in the 2010 documentary, The Splat Pack, that also featured extensive interviews with his fellow Splat Pack members Eli Roth, Neil Marshall, Darren Bisman, Alex Asia, and Greg McLean. Missing from the documentary were Splat Pack members James Wan and Rob Zombie. Various merchandise based on Hatchet and its iconic villain, Victor Crowley, continues to sell more and more each year, and in August of 2015 the first widely distributed Victor Crowley Halloween mask hit retail shelves across America, selling out of stock nationwide long before the Halloween holiday had arrived. In 2011, Victor Crowley first appeared in comic book form in Hatchet / a crossover comic between Green's Hatchet films and Tim Seeley's